This is Principal Scott Shirley of Lincoln Elementary. Just like to share with you an improvement plan that was given to me years and years ago that's helped me out many times in documenting an improvement plan or probation. It was given to me by Dr. Maddox when he was superintendent, and it has proven very, very effective. It's called the 5 Ks, and each K stands for knowledge. What do we mean by knowledge? Well, first of all, knowledge of the problem. 2, knowledge of expectations. 3, knowledge of support and training. 4, knowledge of a timeline. And 5, knowledge of a new start. Now, what I did was I drew up a fictitious situation here for an improvement plan, and it could also be used for probation for a teacher. And so, first of all, knowledge of the problem. The reason you put this in explicit writing is because you do not want to get into a hearing or in a court situation where, well, Mr. Shirley never would tell me exactly what the problem was. I never knew exactly what the problem was. No, you spell it out, you write it, and every week that you meet with them, you document that this was the problem, and this is what happened this week, and this is explicitly what we need to fix. Knowledge of expectations. Well, I just didn't know what Mr. Shirley expected of me. No, you put it in writing. It is expected at our school, and it is expected in the district that all of these things will happen, and this is appropriate behavior, and blah, blah, blah. You write that out, and you go over it over and over each week as you meet to review these things. Okay, knowledge of support and training. Well, Mr. Shirley didn't give me any kind of support. I was out there hanging all by myself, and so I never did get any help from him at all. No, you spell it out specifically what you did to support that teacher. And one thing that I found was a very, very good thing to do, whether it's an improvement plan or whether it is probation. I found it helpful to get the association involved with a teacher of the teacher in question's choice. In other words, or is there some teacher in the district that you would like to have as a mentor to help you through this and to model what needs to be done, and then let them choose whether they do or do not want somebody like that. Because what happens is, yes, you're the principal and you're in charge of supporting them, but they may not see you as a support. They may see you as the enemy. You just put them on an improvement plan or probation. So let them choose somebody. And what I also do is I sit down with the association representatives and I say, look, I want you, as we go through this process, that if you see anything that I'm doing that is inappropriate or that is not according to due process, would you please bring it up now as we go through the process so that it doesn't come out in a hearing, but that we make sure that everything is fair for this teacher. Will you agree to that? And they always do. They always do. They want good teaching in the association. Knowledge of a timeline. I put in writing that I will meet with the teacher every Friday at a specific time or whenever that happens to be to get feedback, to go over what we did during that week. Any notes that we had, I'll give the teacher a copy. I'll keep a copy. I have the secretary there to also take notes of the meeting. I give them a chance to initial that they received a copy of the notes. There was only one time when the teacher said, I'm not going to sign that. And I said, well, we'll just indicate right here that you refused to sign, but you were offered the opportunity to receive a copy. And then I had the secretary note that, and we went right on. And the teacher thought again and said, I'll initial that. So that worked out well. But even if it hadn't, that you indicate with a witness that they were given the opportunity to have a copy of the notes and decline. All of the progress that they make, the things that still need to be made, You have a knowledge of a timeline. This will happen at this time. If it's an unsuccessful experience with the improvement plan, then it will move to a probation, and then the timeline, the dates, all of these kinds of things, so that there's no question that the teacher has in mind of to what is going to happen when. No surprises. You don't want any surprises at a hearing. And then finally, knowledge of a new start. And I read this explicitly. It is the expectation of the principal that compliance with the above is possible and will result in increased teaching effectiveness. Well, Mr. Shirley, he was just trying to get rid of me. He didn't have any expectation that I'd be able to do this. Well, yes, I did. We talked about it every time that we would be able to fix the problem and get back on the road once again. Okay, so in reverse order, knowledge of a new start, knowledge of a timeline, knowledge of support and training, knowledge of expectations, knowledge of the problem. When I completed this whole process, after over a year of documentation, when it came time to have a hearing and go to court, our attorney told me that the documentation was squeaky clean. That's what you want to have, squeaky clean documentation. It will ensure that you're fair and that you're able to look at a problem and hopefully solve that problem without going any further. But regardless, you document. Whoever documents best wins. Good luck on your documentation. Let me know if there's any of this that you would like an electronic copy in Word. I'll be glad to send it to you. This is Scott Shirley from Madison School District. Thanks. Bye now.